look like Avril Lavigne.
Yeah, I mean, I think mine is a color. Like mine is
He was a
green.
skater boy. She said, see you later, boy.
Copyright infringement.
He wasn't good enough for her. What's up, everybody? Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Hardly Working, the show about life, love, and labor, hosted by the couple that works, plays, and stays together. I'm SP.
And I'm Kelly, and it is pimple season.
Time for big pimples for no reason.
God, boy, do I love the summer. Boy, do I hate sunscreen.
Why? Sunscreen's saving you.
It is
from
saving you.
the sun's
but
deadly
it is
rays.
the season that I break out the most because I'm putting... even when I try to use different types of sunscreen on my face, I still break out. I have 2 large pimples on my face. Don't look. The mic's covering them.
That's why we gave her the extra big microphone.
That's
today.
why I asked for it.
You can only see her eyes right now if you're just listening. It's all eyes. Yep. Well, it is sunscreen season, and I guess for you, pimple season, because it's summer, and this
Freaking hot
week
summer
felt the most like summer so far. It's a bazillion degrees, and we had a pool party. We didn't. We went to a pool party.
Mm-hmm. For 4th of July.
It was friggin' awesome. Me, you, and B. Thanks to Corey and Tara for the invite. We had a great time. Brooklyn was in the pool for like 5 hours.
True.
Swimming her best life.
That's right.
I got
singing her best songs.
Oh, yeah. We got some cute footage of that. I got to DJ for a little bit, which was a lot of fun.
That's cool.
Got to show off my DJ prowesses.
Yeah.
Prowi.
Prowi.
Argy bargies.
No.
Chin waggles. All of the above. But it does feel like summer. It's a good time.
Gherkins.
That whole time when you were silent, were you just trying to think of another term?
Yeah. I was like, what is it? It's not
Gherkins.
What do you call hot dogs?
But glizzies.
I was like, it's not glizzies, but I had the 2 going in my head. It was like no, gherkin. I got it, but it's not a glizzy, which my daughter used for the first time this week, and I was like, who the heck are you?
Yeah, what did she say? She's like, it's not a glizzy.
It's not a glizzy. It's just nuggets.
Speaking of, and we should just gamify this at some point.
I'm so sorry. Where did you
Glizzy could be a Gen Alpha, or as I'm hearing them called now, Gen A slang word. You know, like it could have been when she said it, like it's not a glizzy. It could mean like it's not a banger. It's not a bop. It's not a good song. It is so impossible to keep up with the new terminology.
How do you?
No, we don't.
Yeah.
Although our kid is not super into the Gen Z slang,
That's
or
true.
Gen A slang rather.
Yeah.
So we don't get exposed to it very much.
Yeah. Also, I know we're on a tangent, but I would say it is very interesting to me because I think back to like the 90s and I go, yeah, we had like some words that we used, but our words were like coolio and...
I'm sorry. Our words? I have never unironically used the word coolio before.
How about cool beans? You've heard cool beans?
Oh,
or
that's so nerdy.
I know, but give me some others. Like we didn't have...
No, you're doing a great job. I think you just should keep going.
Listen, like you could still catch like what the context was from our words because they weren't like super far off.
Yeah, cool beans means like
It's
these
cool.
beans are cold.
No. You know what I mean.
Yeah, because there's a word in it.
But they weren't...
Coolio, it's not hard to figure out what coolio could mean.
Give me a word that you used, like in the 90s that was like a cool word that like our parents wouldn't know.
People would say that's bomb or
that's the bomb.
Or that's bad, which was good, or he's bad or whatever would mean good.
True. But like we didn't have anything like, oh, phantom tax.
Yeah, it's true. It's
like, what the heck is that?
It's because of the internet.
For sure. But
it's
I'm
because
also
things
like,
go so much further and faster now on the internet.
I was like, these things are like too far
removed.
Gone. No, too far gone. Like you guys have gone too far.
It's like
too far. Like we're literally speaking 2 different languages where I'm like, I don't really know what you're saying. I can't even really figure it out through context because like every other word is like a new word that like I've never heard. And so I'm like, yeah.
You know, I see all those videos of like millennials and Gen A or millennials and Gen Z or whatever it is. They'll say like, what does this word mean? And they'll like give their version of it. Like if it's like, oh, it's lame, they'd be like, it's cringe, you know, like that kind of thing. And whoever's younger thinks that they're the coolest one.
Oh, for sure.
I'd like to see Gen Z.
It's cringe. It's not chuggy anymore. That's not like a thing. But like that was a thing, like no joke, a couple months ago. And I was like, I finally have something.
I would like to see Gen Z or Gen A do that same thing, but with a person who talks in British Cockney slang, because that stuff is very similar in the sense that
Bollocks.
it's like 2 steps removed.
Yeah.
Not even like what we were just talking about with the argy bargy and stuff,
No.
but like it's a few steps removed. I'll have to see if we can find something like
And they're
that.
so quick too.
Or maybe we can do like another slang game. Who knows? We'll get there. All that to say it's summer.
Happy summer.
Happy 100-degree summer. It's hot, but it's good. Let me pull out my noties, my noti woties on here.
We had a 4th of July party.
Yeah, which was really fun. We did fireworks, of course, because
I did fireworks
America.
with my mom and my dad.
And Brooklyn had a great time with all of that. We saw Inside Out 2.
We saw Inside Out 2 that I hated.
I loved it. I really, really loved it.
It was good. I just sat in anxiety-filled distress the entirety of the movie.
This is the biggest highlight in the difference between who Kelly is and who I am. If you haven't seen, I almost said Angry Birds too. If you haven't
Inside
seen
Out
Inside
2.
Out 2, no spoilers. You should at this point know that a new emotion, anxiety, is a part of it, as well as another like a team of emotions. But anxiety is something that I'm very familiar with. And so I watched this movie, and Kelly watched this movie, so did Brooklyn. Kelly's like, I was anxiety ridden the whole time. This character made this whole thing unpleasant. And I was like, I felt at home the whole time because it's so familiar. And I was like, there was really no bad guy in this movie. And Brooklyn's like, except for like anxiety. And I was like, no, like I felt bad for anxiety. Anxiety's just doing what it can to try to help solve the future problems. Like I really related and connected to anxiety. So much so that I was like, I can get a little anxiety Funko Pop. Like I can sympathize and empathize with my anxiety. And then Kelly was like, I was miserable for 90 minutes.
I'm so sorry that you live your life like that because
I know, imagine
I couldn't.
all the time.
I just have it's just like I'm so conceited. I just have so much positivity. And I don't mean it like that, but I just feel like, I just feel like I have anxiety sometimes, but I can't constantly live in that. I don't constantly live in that.
I can't either, but I do.
I know, but I don't. And it was a very difficult movie for me because I was like, there's no relief. There's no relief. There's no relief.
Look.
No spoilers, so you can watch the movie yourself. But I was
no spoilers,
very much out of my comfort zone.
Everything has its place, is what I took away. And all parts of you are parts of you.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Anyway, that's kind of it. Y'all got your nails done, too? Always fun for the girls to get
Brooklyn and I got our nails done. Well, these nails were done, but our nails done. We have matching toenails.
Matching toesies.
Yeah, she was very excited about it. It's like her new favorite thing to get her nails done. And she had some nail polish on her fingers that she hated. So she was like, it's so gloopy. And I just like want it off. I was like, all right, let's go.
Oh, yeah. No, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you guys did that.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Cute. Lots of stuff coming up this week. We'll talk more about it later. We probably can't talk about it till next week's episode, but Kelly's got 2 gigs.
I do.
She's got a gig with a
company I've worked with before, and then with a coordinator I've worked with before. So
yeah, I can't tell you who it is yet, I guess, but you'll hear more and more about it next week. But that's coming up.
Yes.
And then house update. It's coming together. I think maybe next week we'll take some photos and videos of our favorite things, like 3 to 5 favorite things.
Sure.
And talk about it.
I had this idea. It's so dumb, but I was like, and we'll put them up on the screen, the before and after, and you can circle all the differences. All of it. All of it is different.
Had we known it would be such a change, maybe we would have taken some before photos.
Yeah.
But we didn't.
It happened so fast.
It did. Well, it happened so fast and it took so long. Anyway, It's all good over there. It's going to be a fun show. I got plenty of stories. I've got a game integrated into one of the stories. And I'm going to end another story. And, of course, lots of unpop pins.
Who are we? We're the new Gen A.
That's right. Unpop pins, yo. Well, you want to jump into a story?
Always.
Do you remember a couple weeks ago we were talking about a town in, I think, Germany that was like, let's vote. Shall we kill all the pigeons? And they were like, yay. And they're like, we're going to kill all the pigeons.
Yes. What's the backlash for that? Give me the follow-up.
Oddly enough, we don't do follow-up on this show ever.
Okay.
This is not about them.
Is it about someone else that decided to kill off all the pigeons?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Listen to this. U.S. officials plan to kill hundreds of thousands of barred owls to save another species of owls from extinction.
U.S.? Like here?
Yeah, here. In the good old
We're going to kill some owls?
Yeah. By the way, I'm assuming that B-A-R-R-E-D is pronounced barred owls.
Okay.
I don't know. So yeah, essentially, there's another species of owls called
Waiting.
spotted owls.
Got it.
And they are smaller and weaker.
The babies
And there's less of them. And these barred owls
are killing them.
It didn't say like they're attacking them, but they're taking like all the resources and they're, building their nests where these other ones
bullies.
would. So they're going to kill 450,000 of these barred owls up the West Coast over the next 30 years. But still.
Are they going to become extinct because of it?
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was like, are we solving one problem by creating another problem? I don't know. But what was really interesting, one, is that I can't believe this is happening again because we just talked about it in Germany. Now it's in the US. And two, this kind of stuff has happened before. And I was reading this article. Listen to this. The notion of killing one bird species to save another has divided wildlife advocates and conservationists. It's reminiscent of past government efforts to save West Coast salmon by killing, any guesses?
Sharks.
Sharks?
Crabs.
Wait, you think sharks eat salmon?
No, I don't know. I just was going
bet
with
they
what I
do.
thought. I'm like, don't whales and sharks eat it? Okay, it doesn't matter.
Who
No,
knows?
they eat krill.
West Coast salmon by killing sea lions.
I was going to say seals or sea lions.
Can you imagine that?
That's so sad.
You're like,
Sorry,
what?
little sea
Not enough
lions.
salmon. Let's kill these big, beautiful creatures.
I know. No one likes it. You want to know what's really killing the salmon? Humans, because they eat it. Not me. People eat it.
Yeah,
Maybe
watch
just
that
stop
documentary.
eating it for a couple of years, and maybe it would be okay.
What was it called? Blackfish?
Whitefish.
No, the documentary Redfish, Bluefish. What is this? No, that documentary on Netflix about like SeaWorld and
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't remember what it's called.
So they started killing off sea lions and cormorants, which I think are large birds.
Yeah.
I only know because of Bob's Burgers. What an auspicious
Nerd.
sign. And then there's also, I truly don't know what these are, and I didn't look them up because it was more fun for me just to imagine it.
Okay.
They've also done this to preserve warblers by killing cowbirds that lay eggs in warbler nests. Does this not feel like a Willy Wonka Mad Lib or something?
I'm so sorry. Cowbirds?
Yes. Okay. So I can click on cowbirds, but it doesn't give me anything. I've never heard of a warbler or a cowbird. Have you?
Have you? No. Actually, the name sounds familiar, but I don't really know.
I have.
I have.
We've been in a Good
All right,
Eats.
Mark Summers.
Not Good Eats. No, Good Eats is a terrible
Unwrapped.
show.
You
Unwrapped
don't like
season.
Good Eats with
I
Alton
don't-
Brown?
Sorry, I'm not a big Alton Brown fan. I find him a bit aggressive and off-putting.
Okay.
Oh, these are warblers. They're so cute.
They are cute.
Little warblers. It's like what candy is that color? Like that sunburst yellow green. It's like a tropical starburst bird or something.
I don't know. What candy is that color?
I don't know. It looks cute. So warblers, I guess, are getting eaten by cowbirds.
Aww.
Is that right? Is that what I'm learning
Not
from
anymore
here?
because they killed
Oh,
off
they
the
took
cowbirds.
care of it. And here's a cowbird. Not cute.
Those look like crows.
They look like predators.
They are predators.
Anyway, I thought it was pretty wild that there was another instance of this happening. So
I mean, couple. Makes sense.
does it? It's
I
a
don't
bad
know.
idea. Here's what I was
Humans
thinking.
make
though.
things worse.
That's true. But here's what I'm thinking. As I read the article, I was like, first of all, are we solving a problem by creating another one?
Mm-hmm.
Second, is this just how life should be? Like, if a bigger owl is coming in and it's going to eliminate the smaller owls, do you just let nature take its course?
Yeah, but nature already hasn't taken its course because humans have come in and disrupted and disturbed nature. Like,
Sure.
I bet we took over pieces of their homes when we started building and expanding where we were. And so
Pieces of their homes, as in
like trees.
their whole trees.
Yeah, like their homes. Do you know
It's
what I
not
mean,
like the
though?
way they came in and took the mudroom of their home.
No, but you know what I mean, though?
Yeah, yeah.
But also, I feel the same way about salmon. I already said it, but like, they're like, we're going to kill off sea lions because that's a problem. I'm like, how about like the hundreds of thousands of Americans and other people that eat salmon? Like, why not just say we're not going to do salmon?
We should unalive them.
Yep. No, but I'm saying you could probably be like, it's illegal to serve salmon for, I don't know.
They do that with some stuff, like turtles and shark fin.
Yeah.
I guess it would be sharks.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, we're not going to serve salmon. We're only going to serve salmon for a couple of months out of the year. It's like a seasonal thing.
Like Lent.
It's a seasonal thing.
Only salmon on Fridays.
Like pumpkin spice only happens in the fall. It's a seasonal thing.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be.
But
I see what you're saying.
But I'm just saying, like,
Let's
instead of
regulate
killing
the
the
fish.
sea lions, let's regulate. That's what we could have done. We could have regulated
That
the
does
fish
sound
intake.
so sad. Like if they were like, hey, our cheetah population's down, let's hunt down all of the elephants. You're like, what?
Well, aren't elephants also endangered?
Because they have
the
been
tusks.
hunted to save
The
cheetahs or whatever I said earlier.
But I'm just saying, like, if I looked at you and said, hey, so like this animal is like going to become extinct, we can either like stop eating it for like a couple of years, or we can kill off a ton of these other animals. Like, what do you want to do? And they're like, let's kill off all the animals. We can't stop eating that. I'm like, what?
That's
What?
I think that it's weird because people just have different they have different perspectives on things. They go like, it's worth killing barred owls to save spotted owls, or it's worth killing sea lions to save salmon, right? I was in Mexico the other day with two people, one of which was a vegetarian, but then he was still eating fish, which I understand. Yes, you're allowed to do that. But I'm like, why? Where is your line? It's not on, I don't want to eat something that was alive or had to die for me to eat it. I only eat plants. It's like, I won't eat. Don't get on me, vegetarians. I'm sure there's reasons. But it's like, I don't feel like a fish has enough consciousness for me to care. I'll eat a fish. It's not like eating a cow that I can see or is larger. It's a weird line to draw.
It is a weird line
You know
to
what
draw.
I mean? And
Yeah.
I think that's what happens with this stuff. They're like, well, you know, we don't really care about sea lions or pigeons. Who cares about pigeons? The same way we feel about ants.
Ants.
Ants. I mean, I've killed thousands of ants
Haven't
in
we
my life.
all?
Thousands.
Haven't we all?
But they have some type of
They're really strong.
consciousness.
Not strong enough to hold my foot up, but they're strong.
Yeah, they can carry over 100 times their body weight.
Yeah, more than that. So
I actually don't know if that's true, but I know they can carry a lot.
yeah,
I saw the movie Ants.
ants. I hear what you're saying. In that, I think people draw weird lines. I'm just saying, like, the owls is one thing because I'm like, all right, like, figure it out. But when it just baffles my mind that, like, as a society, we're like, hey, like, we can either like stop like using this thing and like taking it in or eating it or whatever, or we can like kill off a bunch of other stuff. And instead of being like, yeah, let's just regulate like the amount that you can have and like all that stuff, we're like, yeah, just kill off the other one because like we can't stop eating salmon. It's too important to people's diets. You can't do that.
I think regulating stuff is really difficult, and it would take, by the time we did that, all the salmon would be gone because it took 15 years for the 80-year-old geriatric House and Senate to regulate the fish.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It takes a long time to regulate stuff.
So instead, let's just kill sea lions. Love it. Love it.
That's the official stance of hardly working.
No.
Not at all.
Oh my gosh.
There was one more thing I wanted to say about that, but I think I forgot. I'll let it go. It'll come back to me.
Just gotta let it go.
Like a boomerang. A koala.
Koala.
That's pretty good.
That's a pretty good
That's
koala.
pretty good.
Boomerang
R&R.
and a koala. R&R.
Trigger,
R&R.
trigger warning for this next story.
Uh-oh.
While it is a totally humorous story, it does have the word suicide in it a few times. So if that's sensitive for you, as I know it is for some, trigger warning.
Okay.
Our next story. Korean robot commits suicide after a year in public service.
I'm so sorry. Korean robot?
Yes. Which
robot?
Did that shock you, Kel?
When
That
you
there
said
were-
robot?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it made me go, we need to stop making robots because obviously, like, they're becoming alive. Sentient? Is
They're
that what you
becoming
say?
alive. Yeah. Sentient, conscious.
Okay, help me
AI.
understand. Tell me more. Where was this at again?
South Korea.
Okay.
So the South Korea City Council says its robot administrator killed himself by jumping down a flight of stairs last week.
Weird.
Local media is now mourning the loss as the country's first suicidal robot. According, I love this article so much. According to witnesses, the robot had been circling in one place for some time before jumping, indicating that something had gone wrong, or maybe that it was like,
Thinking about it.
can I keep doing paperwork and giving people files so humans don't have to do it? Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
That's pretty good.
Bye.
Wait, what does this robot do? Or
I will tell you.
What did it do? Right, rest in peace. Says.
Well, first, just so you know, we know
was
that it
good.
was circling before it threw itself down a flight of stairs. Keep in mind, it's a robot. It looks like a little
Did you hear
mini
what
fridge.
I said? You didn't.
No, what did you
You
say?
said may it rest in peace. Says.
Oh, may it roll in pieces. This is what it looked like.
Really?
Kind of looks like a big trash can. To
Looks
be
like
honest,
a
huh?
water jug. Like
Have
everyone
you-
meet at the water.
Have
tank
you
thing.
seen these like little robot waiters in restaurants and stuff? I've never been to one like that, but I've walked by certain places and they've been
No.
serving food. It's pretty jarring.
No, thank you.
Although, here's what we need to know. The circumstances of the incident are still under investigation. They're going to have to check its hard drive. Who knows? The robot was one of the first creations to be hired by the mayor's office.
Wow.
The
Did it get paid?
flippin' mayor.
Did it get paid since it got hired?
No.
Okay.
No, it
Just
don't.
curious.
Since August 2023, it had been helping employees with daily document delivery, advertising, and providing information to local residents. So that's what its job was.
Pretty cool.
And I don't know why they just threw a quote right in the middle of this, but one of the officials from the mayor's office said, officially, he was part of the mayor's office, one of us, and he worked very hard. I don't know if
They're taking this really hard.
They are, but this is what I was surprised by. Let me see if I can find it right here. South Korea is one of the most robotic countries in the world. According to the International Federation of Robotics, there is, get this, here's a little thing that you didn't know until you listened to this show today. There is one industrial robot for every 10 workers.
Dang, it's a lot.
One for every 10.
I don't
I
like
thought
that.
this was just the only South Korean robot
And
in the mayor's
uprising
office.
is possible.
I'm just saying. It really is.
Okay, keep going.
That's the whole thing. And it also says, I don't know how to pronounce GUMI, the Gumi City Council, who knows? But they currently have no plans to hire a second robot
Because
administrator.
they just lost a member of their family.
I know, you can't move on. It's like having a breakup.
That's so sad. I wonder what went wrong.
I
What
think
snapped in its little robot brain?
I think it just understood what we all know, which is like,
Is this all I'm made for?
yeah, it's like the little butter robot in Rick and Morty.
Yeah,
What is my purpose?
to serve me butter.
Oh, no. All right, couple more for you. This next story is a quickie. And then the last one that I'll talk about turns into a little bit of a game.
All right, ready?
This one is Australian man survives wildfire by scuba diving in his friend's pool while the fire raged around him.
He just happened to have a bunch of scuba diving gear.
I guess. I mean,
Not a bad idea.
I will say this. My favorite part of this article is when I was reading it, I was like, I wish there was a photo of what's happening.
Was there a photo?
No.
No, of course
So
not.
I went to like an image generator and made it.
Yeah.
And oh man, the photo that it generated for me, I'll
Was
put it
great.
up on the screen right now, is hilarious. And if I can't show it to you, I will. But everyone else has already seen it. Anyway, man dives into pool as fire rages. An Australian man has told how he survived a huge brush fire by jumping into his neighbor's pool wearing scuba diving gear.
Smart.
34 homes in this area were destroyed by the blaze. This person, Peter Fabrici, decided to stay behind and defend his property from the flames.
Did he? Or did it burn?
Oh, spoilers.
Sorry.
But after the 53-year-old man made sure that his wife was safely away from the approaching fire, he returned to this house and got his scuba gear out to help him breathe in the smoke, which really should have been written better. Because when I read it the first time the other day, it read like this: grabbed his scuba gear out to help him breathe in the smoke.
Breathe in the smoke.
To help
Not
him breathe
in the smoke.
whilst in the smoke.
Yeah.
Yes. So he says there were spot fires everywhere. I guess I could try it in an accent.
No.
Okay. The wind was increasing. The smoke was getting thicker, and I basically stayed with the house as long as I could. He said after fireproofing his house the best that he could, including putting sprinklers on his roof, Mr. Fabrici was forced to retreat into his neighbor's pool with the scuba equipment.
Lucky him, he had it on.
Exactly. But that's what made me laugh is like, imagine this dude, he's like putting sprinklers and he's on his roof and he's hosing things down. And he's like, oh man, the fire's too close. And he just puts on full scuba gear with flippers and everything and walks to his neighbor's pool in the fire.
He already had the scuba gear on, like the oxygen tank.
That is true.
And probably the goggles and stuff. So that's probably all that he had on him when he went into his neighbor's pool.
That's probably true. According to the photo that the AI
That's not what it
generated,
is.
he was wearing 2 flippers and he was holding 3 other flippers. So he needed no less
lot.
than 5 flippers.
He couldn't figure out how to waterproof those, so he just took it with him.
Exactly. And he
No.
didn't have scuba gear. They gave him a snorkel for some reason.
I would assume it'd be like the oxygen tank and the mask, and like that's probably it.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Anyway, the dude survived. And his house survived somehow. It doesn't say exactly how, but he was like, I was shocked to see that my house was still there.
What about his neighbor's house that he was hiding in their pool? That one burned down?
Pool survived. I don't know. They didn't
Lucky
say that part.
duckies.
But I had this thought. I was like, good idea or a bad idea? First of all, if you can get out, you should just get out.
Just
but
get
if you're
out.
stuck there, good idea to go scuba diving
Good
in the pool?
idea.
That's what I thought. But we've been watching all these hurricane barrel videos.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what about all the stuff that gets like thrown up and into the pool
It's
and
not
stuff?
a hurricane, it's a fire.
Yeah. But as things burn down, like imagine a telephone pole burns down and lands in your pool.
That's
Or
true.
a tree burns down
How
and lands in
many
the pool.
telephone poles do you see above pools?
I'm looking at a few right now. Not above pools, but
Does your mom have one above her pool?
no. Well, yeah, actually. Yeah, you know the wires that go across
yeah.
where the squirrels run?
Yeah.
Yeah, see? Dangerous.
Dangerous.
You know you're so... That
Dangerous.
girl is a scuba diver.
With 5 flippers in her hair.
Anyway, if a fire's raging, leave with your
Or
wife.
just leave.
Don't.
Yeah, you don't need to protect your house. Hopefully you have insurance.
Yeah, that's probably what
They'll cover for
he
it.
didn't have. Like, oh, Augie Boggy, I forgot me and Shuri. That's what Australians call insurance.
My insurance.
That's not an Australian accent at all.
No.
None of that was Australian. And I
I don't know what that
apologize.
was,
I
honestly.
apologize to our non-Australian listeners.
I don't have any Australian friends. I don't
Not
think.
that we know of. Not that
Well,
we know of.
I'd like to. Their accents are cool.
You ready for the last story?
Yeah.
Man bites snake to death after it attacked him.
No.
Yep, it is
No.
true. Man bites snake to death. A
Gross.
man in India bit a snake back after it attacked him, resulting in the snake's death. A 35-year-old railway worker, and his name is Santosh Lohar. Sure, I nailed that.
Yeah, you did.
Was working in a certain region when the incident happened. The reptile suddenly attacked him. He reacted by rapidly seizing the snake and biting it back twice,
Love it.
killing the creature. Now, in some parts of India, there is a superstition that biting a snake transfers the venom back to the reptile. So this wasn't just a ludicrous guy. Remember that dude who's like, some crab pinched his daughter, so he's like, I hate this crab, and then he ate the crab, and he got like 8 parasites.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like this. This was like based on a belief.
Like, oh, you bit me, and so I'll bite you back, and I'll give you your venom back.
Exactly.
Dang, crazy.
A stupid belief.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Sorry, guys.
The story ends by saying he's fine now because they took him to the hospital and gave him anti-venom.
Good.
Not because he bit the snake
Yeah,
back.
of course.
But it did get me thinking, how many other weird traditions are there?
A lot.
A lot. So what I did is I put together a list of 10 traditions similar to that.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you 4 choices
Okay.
for a fill in the blank, if you will.
Okay.
Now, you're welcome to try to fill in the blank before the answers if you want to throw something out.
Okay.
All right. So keeping in mind, looking at things. I didn't name this one. Yeah, you know what? Sure, I did. It's time for Don't Try This.
What?
don't
Everything
know.
ends in a
This. It's perfect.
Don't try this at home.
First, in ancient China, people used to eat crushed blank for longevity.
Crushed shells.
Wow. You are really close.
Yeah.
Yes, the answer is pearls.
Ah.
Ancient Chinese believed that crushed pearls had magical properties that could grant eternal youth and longevity. This practice, however, has had no scientific basis, and pearls provide no health benefits when ingested.
Yeah, you're just eating pearls.
That's it. Next up, during medieval times in Europe, doctors believed that blank could cure illness by removing excess blood.
Leeches.
Pretty close, yeah. Bloodletting.
Bloodletting.
Yeah.
Which,
Go ahead.
oh, I was like, I mean, that basically is leeches, but yeah. I got
Yeah,
you.
yeah, it's
like
kinda
you
like
put
that.
leeches and then they suck. It's, yeah.
Yeah, bloodletting was a common medical procedure where doctors would cut a patient to let out blood, believing it would cure various ailments.
Yeah.
This practice was not only ineffective, but also harmful.
Yeah. Duh.
In Elizabethan England, like Bridgerton,
Not quite, but yeah.
in Elizabethan England, it was believed that placing a dead blank against a tooth could cure a toothache. Would you like your options?
A dead something against a tooth could
It is a well, it was living. It's a creature.
I was going to say a cat, but that's not right.
Here are your options: mouse, bat, frog, bird.
I'm going to go with frog.
Incorrect.
I don't know.
It's grosser. It's a mouse. People in Elizabethan England believed that pressing a dead mouse against a tooth could alleviate a toothache.
Gross.
This remedy was not only ineffective, but also unhygienic and potentially dangerous.
Yep.
A way to pick like a rodent that probably has the most diseases.
Yeah.
To put on your achy, breaky tooth.
Achy breaky tooth.
I don't know how to pronounce this city or state or province. In Hyderabad, India, a traditional remedy for asthma involves swallowing a live blank coated with herbal paste.
Worm.
Here are your options. Your options are frog, snake, fish, or lizard.
Lizard.
Swallowing a live lizard?
No, fish.
It's got to be a fish. It is a fish. Yeah, there's only a certain amount of things that you can swallow alive.
Yeah. A goldfish.
Can I see your teeth? They're beautiful. Don't put a mouse on it. I thought
won't.
maybe you had some lipstick.
No.
A traditional remedy in this part of India involves swallowing a live
Gross.
merle fish coated with herbal paste to cure asthma. This practice has no scientific backing and is not recommended.
Yeah. Imagine all the people that did all these things because they were like, this is what you're supposed to
I
do.
know.
Like, gross, dude.
So much science needs to be happening here. Some cultures believe that rubbing a cut blank on warts, like an object that's been cut. Imagine if you had, I don't know, a carrot and you cut the carrot.
Okay.
Some cultures believe that rubbing a cut blank on warts and then burying it would make the warts disappear.
Onion.
That is one of the options, but it's a potato.
Oh. Yeah, I was like onion or potato. One or the other, but onion is what I went with.
Well, in various cultures, it was believed that rubbing a cut on a potato, a cut on a potato.
A cut open potato?
If you have an open cut, just rub it on a potato. No, rubbing a cut potato on a wart and then burying it would cause the warts to disappear. This has no scientific basis and is merely a placebo or a potato.
But
Thank you. All right, couple more. In ancient China, it was believed that drinking blank could confer health benefits and immortality. This is a type of liquid, and it's found on the periodic table of elements. Would you like the answer? Because I realized there's only one on here that fits that description.
liquid. Is it something crazy?
Yeah.
Like magnesium?
Yeah, it's like that.
Or liquid silver or liquid.
Think thermometer.
Is that not magnesium?
It's mercury.
Mercury, yeah,
Yes.
okay. I was
Ancient
like,
Chinese-
that's what I was thinking when I said it.
Magnesium? Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
don't think that's too crazy, but she's in the ballpark.
Yeah, but I was thinking like a thermometer, whatever is in there.
Ancient Chinese believed that consuming mercury could grant health benefits and immortality. This is extremely dangerous as mercury is highly toxic.
Yeah, so it actually does the opposite. You idiots.
Some cultures believe that hanging a rope made from blank could repel snakes.
Hanging a rope?
Yeah, let me give you the options here.
Okay.
Some cultures believe that hanging a rope made of blank could repel snakes.
Okay.
A rope made of cotton, horsehair, silk, or hemp.
Horsehair.
It was believed in some cultures that hanging a horsehair rope could repel snakes. This belief is unfounded and offers no protection against snakes.
Yeah, duh.
Prices and participation may vary. All right,
Tax.
last few. Let's see if you can get them. Some cultures believe that placing a blank under the pillow could ward off nightmares. A lot of cultures have like dream things.
I know. I'm like, it's not a dream catcher. Placing something underneath a pillow. Placing a pickle. Placing a...
Is it a knife, a feather, a coin, or a flower?
Okay. Feather was on my list of things in my head.
Me too. I think it's because we're thinking dream catcher.
Yeah, but it's probably a coin.
In various cultures,
Pay the
it was
tax.
believed that placing a knife under the pillow could prevent nightmares.
All right.
Because if there was the boogeyman came in your dreams, you could just
Stab him.
yeah. That's
Weird.
That's my stabby noise.
Yeah.
This is no scientific basis and can be dangerous. Last
Duh.
two, it was once believed that drinking blank could warm you up in cold weather.
Drinking blank could warm you up in cold weather, not just hot water?
Well, the options are coffee, soup, tea, or alcohol.
Alcohol.
It's got to be alcohol.
Yeah.
People believe that drinking alcohol could warm them up in the cold weather. While alcohol might make you feel warmer, it actually lowers your core body temperature and can increase the risk of hypothermia.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Unless we're hanging out
do
and it's
it.
summer.
Sorry.
I like the little dance.
Don't do it. Don't.
In this improv that you're doing, are you wearing a hat? Is that why you keep doing that? Are
I don't
you
know.
brushing your hair
Girls
back?
do this thing where they go like, don't do it, don't do it, and you put your hair back.
What are you from, New York?
Yeah.
Yeah. Matey?
I'm from anywhere you want me to be, honey.
Is that your New York accent?
No, I'm from the Bronx. I'm walking here.
Hey, there we go.
Hey, I'm walking here.
Hey, Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito. If it ain't thinly sliced, it ain't Jersey Mike's. Don't you know? Not a sponsor.
I heard a story that on the set of the movie Twins, where Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito played twins, hilarious. That's all you needed back then for a hit movie premise. That Schwarzenegger was given a cigar that was laced with weed by Danny DeVito, and it was,
Sneaky.
Arnold was like, "Yeah, that happened," and I was like, "That's funny."
Sucks.
But then he goes, "Yeah, he did to me what I usually do to other people," and I was like, "Are we talking about drugging people? This is terrible." And it just. In that situation, be like, yeah, what a terrible thing he did to me. I wasn't
do that
aware.
to other
Don't
people.
go like, I Cosby people. Don't
Well,
do
maybe
that.
he was talking about like his friends. Like I normally do that to like my co-stars too.
I also heard another story, and I don't remember who said the story or where it came from. But there was some big Hollywood party, and for name tags or whatever, like at like a table.
Oh,
like
I was
a dinner
like, there was
party.
a party for name tags.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I got
it's a
you. But for
rager.
the name tags at the party,
They wrote the people's name out in cocaine. And Schwarzenegger was like, look at my name. It's so long. I'm going to have so much cocaine. That's a pretty good Schwarzenegger. I'm not going to lie.
that's crazy.
Hollywood,
baby.
All right, last one. In various cultures, it was common to apply blank to burns as a remedy. Milk, butter, honey, or salt.
I mean, honey makes sense.
It does
I
make
feel
sense.
like it's milk.
It is butter.
Oh, weird.
That's right.
Which I guess is just milk.
Once common to apply butter to burns as a remedy. This can actually worsen the burn by retaining heat and increasing the risk of infection.
Love it.
Modern medicine recommends cooling burns with water and seeking medical advice.
Yeah.
It's a burn, so I guess you wouldn't put aloe vera on a burn unless it was a sunburn, huh?
You could. I've actually heard aloe vera and
On a real burn?
honey. I mean that.
We should ask Andy if she aloe vera'd her foot.
No.
That doesn't sound like a
You
good
didn't want to see
idea.
the picture.
No, our friend burned her foot, and I'm too old to want to see photos
It's like hot oil.
of that stuff. Yeah, it's not for me. Sending thoughts and prayers for your foot, Andy.
I saw the picture though. Don't worry.
Yeah, I didn't want to see it. You ready to jump into some unpapa pins as you keep calling them? It's not going to catch on. I don't know why you keep calling them
I
that.
don't know why you keep doing that.
I don't know why. It's not going to be a
Stop
thing.
trying to make fetch happen.
Stop trying to make unpapa pins happen.
All right, give me some unpapa pins.
All right, so some of these I feel like
I'm
are
sorry.
you going to make it?
No.
Some of these I think we'll burn through fast. Because I was putting these together this week and I was like, sometimes I'm drawn to the things that I think you and I agree with.
Versus like things that are crazy.
Versus like this is someone's unpopular. This is someone's real opinion.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous.
Okay, let me hear
So
it.
some of those will be in here today.
Okay.
Number 1,
One.
normalize wearing cloaks and capes.
Cloaks and capes?
Yeah, I almost
Or
said
cloaks
cakes.
and cakes. Yeah.
Normalize wearing cloaks and capes. It's
Why?
not easy to say. Why not? You want the explanation?
Yeah, I do.
You know how useful and comfortable they are? It's like wearing a blanket everywhere you go, and they protect the outfit you'll be wearing underneath. Say you're in public, sitting down somewhere dirty, or outside and sitting on something wet. Your cloak will take care of that. If you're cold or at an event or something/sports game, you got a free blanket. At a park, free blanket. You got somewhere to sit down. Not only are they functional, but fashionable. They look great. Do I need to continue?
No. Hey, you do you, boo-boo. If you want to wear a cloak or a cape, you do it. You
Ima-
do it.
Imagine You have a great outfit, and on top of all that, you wear a cloak. Amazing.
No,
Is
I think
how
you
it
cover
continues.
up the cloak and cape. Sorry, I'm getting.
So we're gonna say no to the cloaks and capes.
No, because that's what a jacket is.
Bring
friends.
it back.
No, that's
Nah, that's
whack.
whack.
We have a jacket.
That's
and
true.
that can be also a blanket and also a cover up for your outfit and also the thing that makes it so when if it's wet and you sit down, you don't get wet. If you want to wear a cloak or a cape, go for it.
Yeah, nerd.
But we don't need to normalize it. It's kind of weird.
Next, drinking coffee creamer is so good.
Like straight up drinking?
Straight up coffee creamer.
Okay. You're not wrong. But also, I'm not going to do it.
Do you do that?
No, but this is like a really weird thing that I did when I was younger. And I already know you're going to judge me for this. Do you know Cookie Crisp? Cookie Crisps.
Oh, I didn't until you said that part.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Now
talking about?
I do.
Little cookie cereals, which is hysterical. That this would be like a cereal that they're like, yeah, kids can have that in the morning.
That's what all
like
cereal
cookies
is. It's just
for breakfast.
Sugar. Yeah.
But I used to do mostly milk, then like a splash of French vanilla creamer.
What is wrong with you?
It made it sweeter.
This is something I feel like you should have disclosed before we got
It was
married.
really good. But I mean, I think it'd be too sweet for me now.
This is also
I was
what...
like, it's crazy to just drink, like straight up drink
Yes.
creamer.
Have you ever gotten some creamer, like you're pouring it in your coffee and like it splashes out on your
Yeah, it's
finger or
not bad.
something? It's like drinking concentrate.
Yeah,
Like
I mean, it should be
anything.
mixed with something else for
Yeah.
sure. I didn't pour straight creamer into my cereal. It was like mostly milk and a little bit.
I'm sorry. It's not weird now that you did that.
But it is weird. Just don't drink it.
You know what else is weird? Utonians. Don't put coffee creamer in your soda.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it is kind of weird.
Dairy and soda should not
They do like
mix.
coconut milk and stuff or whatever they do.
Dairy and soda shall not mix.
Except for in Utah.
That's gross.
It's
we
weird.
did have it. It was,
Wasn't that bad?
but I
was
don't
creamy.
conceptually like it. I don't like it.
Anywho's, you're weird.
Well-
Don't just drink creamer straight up. Mix
Well,
it with something
Is this
else.
person really that weird? Or based on what you just described? Let's see.
I was younger than I am now. I haven't done that in like
This was
15
like
years.
when we were engaged.
No, I haven't done it in like 15 years.
How long have we been married?
Not 15 years.
Feels like forever.
5.
Here's what they said. When I was a kid, I liked to drink the little Coffee Mate single-serve containers you get at restaurants.
It's hysterical.
Now as an adult, I just drink coffee creamer straight out of the bottle.
No,
My favorite one, they really like
it's really
track
good,
with me
guys.
here. My favorite one is Natural Bliss Vanilla. It's so good, and I can go through a bottle in 2 days.
You drink it like it's milk, but it's not milk.
My husband thinks I'm insane, but I don't care.
You are insane.
I don't even like coffee, but creamer is 10 out of 10. What's wrong with people?
Oh my God. I would never do that, okay? Okay? I'm not like drinking ranch over here. Like, it's so good. It's so good. Let's do the ranch.
I bet people do that. That's gross.
Probably true.
Let me give you another quick one. You've been to 2 concerts at this location, so I wonder how you feel. SoFi Stadium sucks for concerts.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
It's a weird concert venue.
Yeah, this person basically talks about how they've seen a bunch of people at this place at SoFi.
SoFi Stadium, just for those of you listening that don't know,
Yeah.
is where the Chargers play.
It is the big football stadium in Los Angeles.
Where the Chargers play.
It might be the Rams. We have 2 football teams now.
Who knows?
I don't know.
It's a big football stadium that someone plays at.
And it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's huge. Didn't we go to SoFi Stadium when we went and saw doesn't matter.
Ooh, Panic at the Disco?
No.
No, we saw Taylor Swift and then
And
you saw
I saw
Beyonce.
I know. I saw both of them. Suckers. Just kidding. No, I know, but I just couldn't remember if we'd gone to see the Chargers play there. But we saw them at the
we saw the
Coliseum.
Packers and the Chargers play. It was at like their temporary field. I don't remember.
Yeah. Anyways, it's a big football stadium. That's all you need to know. Okay.
Great. So this person says they've seen Motley Crue, Metallica, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Blink-182 there. They say the echo is horrendous. You can't even understand the artist. This part makes me laugh. They go, I unfortunately have to go see Kenny Chesney in 2 weeks, and I'm not looking forward to my 5th disappointing experience. Maybe don't go.
Yeah. Also, I would say this too, because I did have two experiences quite close together. I think it also depends on the artist that's playing, the type
And
of
their
music
sound
they're
team.
playing, their sound team, and how much money they're willing to invest. Because
Tell me the difference between T Swift and Beyonce.
both were good concerts. Everything that they said, I 100% agree with for Beyonce. I felt like it was really echoey. You couldn't really hear it that well. You couldn't really see it. She didn't pay for the extra screen, so it was kind of hard to see all the way in the thing.
Yeah.
But you were at Taylor Swift. I don't think that it was echoey at all.
It sounded terrible.
Taylor's?
I think it was just her music, but gotcha. I got you.
But did hers didn't
it
sound,
sounded fine.
It sounded fine, yeah.
Yeah.
But we were also closer for Taylor Swift than I was for Beyonce.
Yeah, this person says they're in the 200s, but I don't know
That's
if
where
that
we
means
were.
anything to anyone.
That's where we were.
So we weren't that close, much closer than this person.
No,
I
but
thought they were going to say that the parking's terrible because it is.
yeah, but that's with any like event venue that you go to. But I think it just depends on like the teams and stuff like that. Because like I said, Taylor Swift's concert was great. You could hear everything. It was really good. And like I said, I went to Beyonce a month later and was like, wow, it's like really hard to hear her. But it's the same place. So I knew, and I told you, I said their sound sucked.
Yeah.
Like truly. So I think it just depends on, I don't think it's the stadium. I think it's who they're hiring for sound and their sound technicians.
That's definitely true.
And I mean, you're picking, no offense, Motley Crue and Blink-182. It's all these older bands.
Motley Crue is significantly older than Blink-182.
I know, but Blink-182 was like really big when we were younger.
In the 2000s. Not in like the 80s.
Yeah, but it's not like Taylor Swift, who's like at the height of her career right now. Do you know what I mean?
I do. All right, I got one more ridiculous one, and then
Hopefully Kenny Chesney will be better.
I think I worked with him once.
I think
Who
you did.
knows? I think so. He was great. Never been better. Probably. I don't remember. The Harry Potter movies are great, while the books are terrible.
Liar.
Let me give you the context of this to see if there's anything you relate to, because I knew you wouldn't agree.
Yeah.
But I want to see if
This
there's
person
anything
obviously watched the movies first, read the books later.
Well, let's see what they say. After recently finishing reading the books and then watching the movies,
Liar.
I can honestly say that the movies were so much more enjoyable. They left out all of the filler trash, and I feel like the characters were just characterized so much better in the movies than in the books, except for Ginny. The movies just feel so magical to experience, while the books are just a slog to endure.
You don't like reading, and that's okay, but don't take it out on Harry Potter.
Do you agree? I don't know why they singled out Ginny.
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 There are a couple characters in the movies that are slightly different than their book forms. Ron is a big one.
Yeah.
And Ginny is another one too. But it's so funny that she would say that because I feel like they made Ginny worse in the movies than they did in the books. Like, they took away all of her spunk and character.
Yeah. She was kind of boring in the movies.
Yeah, so it's weird. Which maybe that's what they're saying is like Ginny was better off in the books. But I understand what you're saying about the filler, but truly, if you haven't read the books, it's harder to understand the movies because they take out, not always.
It's not harder to understand.
But
it's a very all-encapsulating thing.
But there are some things that like you assume because you've read the book. And I missed stuff that they didn't put in the movies that they had in the book. And it's very sad.
You missed in the sense that you wished it was there, or you missed it
I
like
wished
you
it
didn't
was
notice it?
There.
Got it.
Like the house elves.
What's your preference? Do you, when given the opportunity, would you rather read a book or series and then see the movies, or see movies and then read the book or series? You think about it. I'll tell you my answer, because that's really the only reason I'm asking. My answer is I'd actually rather see the thing and then read it, because while I think that our imaginations are better usually than what we can see on screen, I actually like having an image in my head of what things are. Particularly, like I just started a new book recently called, I can't even remember.
So good.
Yeah. Well, I literally just started it. It's basically a book that has a ton of different, Too Many Curses. It has a ton of different creatures, and they're all talking and stuff. And one's an apparition, and one's a gargoyle, and one's but it's so hard to keep track of who's who, what's their name, different qualities and characteristics. It's not like they're like, this is Evelyn, a spirit who can't be seen but can be heard and is often at times a gray cloud. Like, they don't give you that. So sometimes I just like having a visual representation, be like, I already know what Harry Potter looks like. Now let's read this thing.
Yeah. I mean, she does a great job of explaining what they look like. So there's that. That's specific to Harry Potter. But in terms of if I like to read or see something first, I think that's a tough question to ask. And here's why. I have two examples. I tend to read things before I watch them. That is just the truth. Unless I don't know that it's a book, in which case, if I watch it and I really like it and I find it's a book, I will probably go and read it if I liked it enough. But I always think about The Lovely Bones.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a book.
Did you read that?
Yeah, my mom and I read The Lovely Bones.
Oh, yeah.
And it was such a good book. And they were coming out with the movie. And so my mom and I went and saw the movie together, and it was so exciting. And the movie was terrible. It was such a letdown.
Was Jennifer Lawrence in that?
No.
That's Winter's Bone.
Yeah.
Is The Lovely Bones about the girl who went to a summer camp?
No, The Lovely Bones is about a...
Yeah,
Stanley
it's not
Tucci's
a great
in
thing,
it.
right?
Stanley Tucci. And then this girl that I can never remember how to say her name, but it's Sairose.
S-A-I.
Or S-I-A. She was in...
Let's call her Sarah.
No, it's not. It's like
Sharona.
Rose.
Okay,
Like that.
so she's in it.
She's pretty popular. She's in some other things too that I can't remember right now. But she was in it, and a couple other people. But basically, she gets like unalived
Yeah.
by Stanley Tucci. Spoilers.
Is it not at a summer camp?
No, she's at school, and I think he kidnaps her on her way home from school. She walks through fields.
Sounds like a really
this
great
whole
book.
thing, and then there's
Mother-daughter read.
in the book there was like, you know, she becomes a ghost and she can like do like kind of talk to people. It's this whole thing. You got to read it. But the book was very different from the movie, and my mom and I really liked the book a lot, and we're excited to watch the movie. And the movie was like such a letdown.
Yeah,
like truly the whole time I was like, this is like, what in the world are we watching? This is terrible. Like it doesn't even like fit. So in that case, maybe watching the movie would have been better first before reading the book. But then you will do things like Bridgerton, where I've read all of Bridgerton multiple times, but the TV adaptation is still so good that I can be like, oh, I can enjoy this for what it is.
Yeah.
Even though I know that's not how the book is, except for Francesca, but that's a whole other story.
That's for
another time.
Her Bridgercast podcast.
My Bridgercast podcast that I don't have, but maybe one day. But yeah, like, so I just think it depends for me, you know? But like I've read the 7.5 lives of, no, the 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo.
And the 7.5
Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. But the 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, I think they're coming out with a movie for that, but I've already read the book.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited about it. It just depends, truly. Harry Potter, I read all the books before I saw the movies. I enjoy the Harry Potter books for what they are, and I enjoy the Harry Potter movies for what they are. But the Harry Potter movies do leave out a lot of things that I enjoyed about the books.
That makes sense.
And it's important to me that Brooklyn reads the books before she watches the movie because I think it's just different.
Speaking of bad adaptations, and I won't spend a lot of time on this because I know it's pretty...
I spent a lot of time.
No, you're good. But I know what I'm going to say is pretty niche to us.
Uh-huh.
But taking a beloved video game franchise
Oh
like
my
Borderlands, and in a few weeks, we'll see just how bad the movie adaptation is. But boy, am I not having any types of high hopes for this.
It sucks because I think it could have been really good, but I already know that it's going to bomb.
It should have been a series. Give it 8 episodes on HBO or
without
something.
Kevin Hart as Roland. Like I love Kevin Hart, but like that's just you're not the right fit.
Yeah.
And whoever the person that plays Lilith is, sorry, this is like I know I'm a girl. You're just too old.
Is it Kate Beckinsale? Kate Winslet.
Blanchett.
Kate Blanchett. That's it. Yeah.
And I really like you too. However, Lilith is supposed to be like
in her 20s.
In her 20s.
Not in her 120s. She's great. It's just
and Kate Blanchett
all of
is
the casting
great,
is wrong.
Except for Tanis.
Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Curtis is perfect.
Yeah, she's perfect. But all the other casting
and also,
is wrong.
Claptrap, you could have just used the Claptrap voice.
That was what set me over. When we saw Inside Out, they showed us there's a little robot character called Claptrap who has a very particular voice. He's the comedic relief in the whole thing. And Jack Black was playing him. And I was like, this will be great. Jack Black's fine. Like he's awesome. He's going to do a good job.
Yeah.
And then they show you so much of his dialogue in this new trailer. And it's like if you just found some person on the street and they were like, just do like a funny voice. Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
I was like, this is going to be just awful.
Also, I have high hopes for Ariana Greenblatt in this.
Yeah. Apparently she's done a lot.
She was in Barbie. She was the kid in Barbie. But yeah, I hope she's good. I think they're the people that could have played Tina well. And also, I think it's really dumb that you've just taken out Mordecai and Brick. Is that his name?
Yeah, they may find them. I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm like, you added a psycho? I'm like,
yeah.
Why?
Anyway, I know this is really niche to us Borderlands people, but hopefully
But if you're going to take something and you're going to make it, you're going to take something that is already known and really well known, like and you're going to make it into something, not just games, books, anything, and you're going to make it into something else. Like maybe like try to stay true to what the people want and don't get, because we like it for a reason. We're not looking for it to be different. We've stuck with it because we like what it is.
Yeah, the problem specifically with video games is that there is a big culture around popular video games, and they want it to be exactly what they did and played. Whereas that doesn't necessarily have a broader appeal to a wider audience that they need to bring into the theaters in order to make their money back.
Yeah, but we would talk about it and be like, it's so good. You definitely got to go see it. And also, they have some really great like villains in the Borderlands games.
Yeah.
So to create a brand new villain.
That was weird.
I'm like, Handsome Jack is the perfect villain.
Yeah.
Like truly. And you could have made that last a couple of movies.
Yeah.
Because he's amazing and excellent. You could have.
Yeah.
And instead, you just give us some new baddie that I don't even know and don't know that I care about.
Yeah.
So
We don't care about it.
But yeah, the Calypso twins are great. Jack is great. Like they have some really great bad guys. So I don't need new ones. Anywho.
Well, let me give you one more, a little bit more serious, but not very serious.
Yes.
Last one before we wrap it up. If my partner can't cook, it's a deal breaker.
I don't care.
Really?
But I like cooking, so.
But if you were on the dating scene, it wouldn't be a deal breaker for you if you had to be someone's mom all the time because they weren't capable of
It would
because they are not willing to learn how to make food.
A deal breaker if they weren't willing. You said can't cook food.
Yeah, can't cook, as in they've never taken the time to learn how to feed themselves.
But if they were bad at cooking, like it's not good.
That's different. Yeah.
If you're willing to work or learn or be with me, you know me. I don't like to feel alone in the kitchen sometimes, even though I enjoy cooking.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not willing to at least be there with me to try to help me open up jars or get pans out, that's a problem.
I serve a big purpose.
Listen, you can go pick up food if I'm hungry and don't feel like cooking.
Look, I am great at picking up food.
And you're also great at cooking steaks and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, like there's different things that it's like, hey, if we're doing this, I'm making dinner tonight.
Yeah.
This is what
I'm really
doing.
grateful for that.
And I'm very grateful that you cook so frequently.
Thanks, babe. I like it. It's soothing for me at times. It's
That's
like
good.
cleaning.
It wasn't the other day when you're like, I'm just overwhelmed in the kitchen. I was like, you're making tacos.
I know. It's because I was also trying to do other things that I don't normally do.
Like watch Castle.
Yeah, I do like Castle. No, like I was trying to make vegetables for Brooklyn that weren't normal vegetables that I make with my tacos. And I was a little bit behind. I don't have a process of how I do certain things, especially meals that we make a lot. And I didn't do that same process for this meal in particular. If you notice, there wasn't any bell peppers and onions last night.
I did notice.
I did notice.
I didn't want to say anything.
I just didn't follow because it was later.
Yeah.
That's really what it was. So I was just like trying to make it quick.
I think it would be a deal breaker for me, not because of normative gender roles, but because I do think it shows a bit about like how willing someone is to be like a well-rounded person. You can cook poorly.
Yeah.
Like when I think of Link from Rhett and Link and how he can never like
cut anything with a knife.
Yeah, he's not allowed to touch a knife.
Yeah.
He like doesn't know how to make anything. I'm like, that's such a bad representation of men these days.
Yeah, yeah.
Not Link. Link's wonderful. Although I hope he's okay. He seems grumpy.
Rhett's
Rhett's the
great.
best. Rhett is the best. Oh, shout out to Mishmash Cereal right over my shoulder.
Yeah.
Mythical cereal. Yeah, I think it just seems like one of those basic life skills. Like if you were dating someone, but they didn't have a driver's license, would that be a deal breaker for you?
Yeah. I'd be like, how you getting anywhere?
That's what I mean.
But also, there is something to be like.
Go ahead.
There's something. There's something to be like. This person doesn't drive, but they've taken the time to figure out their bus schedule, all that stuff to make sure they get where they're going. It's like you're still like resourceful in some way.
Totally.
You know. But also, like, why don't you have that? Do you not have money to buy a car? Like, and like, they're to each their own.
100%.
Like I said, for me, it'd be a deal breaker if you didn't want to try. If you were like, no, that's your job. Like, you cook in the kitchen.
Yeah.
That's different for me. To me, from like, I was never taught, but like, I'm willing to learn.
So the
like, I
equivalent,
don't know how.
The equivalent of knowing a bus schedule versus having a license to you is the same thing as he can pick up food, but he can't cook. He knows how to acquire the food.
He knows
just
how to
can't
get
make
it. But I mean, if you're willing to learn, then I'm good.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing is that your willingness. Yeah. And that's the thing is like you might not know how to make an amazing risotto like my wife does, or risotto if you're Gordon Ramsay.
Risotto.
But you probably know how to take a knife and spinach and chop it up, like into rough chop something.
Yeah.
Like you can figure that out.
Most people can rough chop.
You could do it. Our kid is
rough
making
chop.
more and more food every single day.
Yeah.
Like if our 9-year-old can make food,
Can make toast.
can make
than a
toast,
30-something-year-old
can make
kid
eggs,
should.
can make sandwiches,
Yogurt, her specialty.
granola fruit, yogurt, with honey. It's actually pretty good.
It sits in the fridge for 20 minutes. It's
Got
important.
it's a very important part. You got to
It's
cool
already
this down.
cold. She doesn't get it. I'm like, it's already cold.
She's so good. Hey, that's another thing we did this week. We did our summer movie blowout.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got one of those. It's a poster.
Body.
We watched Shrek.
Sorry.
Well, we got one of those movie posters. It's got like, I don't know, 100 animated films on it, but it's like one of those lottery ticket things where you can scratch it off.
Yep.
Maybe we talked about this. I don't remember. I don't think we did. But yeah, we watched Shrek. Everyone got to pick out green themed things.
Yep.
So we got all sorts of green stuff.
Yeah.
Made it into a lunch. Actually, you can watch it on our TikTok. It's probably on our Instagram as well. I'll say this at the beginning of next episode, since I don't know how many people make it all the way through an episode, but we did change up our social medias.
It's hardly working. You can
Yep.
find us now at It's Hardly Working.
Whether it's TikTok or Instagram, It's Hardly Working. That's where you can find us at It's Hardly Working on both of those platforms. And we're just now starting to kind of do the TikTok thing on there. So wish us luck.
And if you have any ideas of what you can do for Hercules, let us know.
Hercules.
That's what Brooklyn wants to watch next. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
We do want to theme things out. So if there's a
what's a Hercules thing?
Hercules thing, I was like, I don't know.
I'll have to like look it up.
Muscles,
Muscles.
gods,
Yeah.
vases. Maybe
Yeah.
we do some pottery, some color me mine vases.
Maybe we have muse themed things. Who knows?
Who knows? We'll knows once
We'll
we
knows.
get there. Anything coming up? We mentioned those gigs that you got this week.
Yeah. That's kind of it. Oh, we're taking a Pilates class tomorrow.
We've been doing a lottie Pilates lately. This will
Yeah,
be
we're
our
doing
second one.
Pilates class tomorrow at a new studio, which I'm excited to try out. So that'll be exciting. And then it's not this week anymore, but next week I'm going to go visit my friend Dana at her new job at NBC Universal.
So
And then
fun.
go get drinks. Girl. I'm
It's
excited.
gonna be a good week for you. Good week for us. And we hope it'll be a good week for you as well. I hope this met you right where you were at. Gave you a little bit of summer fun. Hope you learned something today. What was the thing? I was like, you didn't know this, but now you know. 1 in 10 workers is a robot in South Korea. That made it seem like you could peel their face off and be like, it's a robot. Like Mission Impossible
No, for
style
every
or
10
something.
workers, there's one robo
worker. Now you know.
If you didn't know, well, now you know.
Play
And we hope that you enjoy your summer.
yeah.
That you get lots of rest and relaxation amidst the working.
Either way.
And we hope that you spend most of your time
Hardly working.
Love you.
Love you too. And we love you guys.
Bye. I went really low. Sound like a movie entrance.
No.
All right, bye.